Mr. Furious Records and Night Mode. I have a new album out called Continuing Worlds, featuring a bunch of improvisations on my Akai AX-60 analog synthesizer from the 80s. And I'm going to walk you through some of the patches that I used on this album. Specifically in this video, we are looking at the song Evolution of Command. And I'm just going to step through the synth. One of the things to know about this synthesizer is it's very much a preset synthesizer. So the positions of the sliders, for the most part, may not reflect the settings of the different parts of the synth that you hear. And so I'm going to start with a stripped back, a very basic, just the VCO, and sort of build up the patch from there. And at the end, we'll see how close I got. I will load up the original patch and we'll see how close I got. So Evolution of Command starts with the triangle plus ramp wave. That's kind of unique to the AX-60, which sounds like this. Pretty cool sound. And I do use a lot of pulse width, variation and modulation in this sound. So we're going to bring up the pulse width slider here. And you hear the timbre change, you hear some upper harmonics there, and then some modulation on the pulse width. Something like that. And then this song has that the pitches slide in and slide out of the notes, and we'll set that with the EG depth here. We may not hear it until we set up the envelope generator in a second. Yeah, we don't hear that yet because the envelope hasn't been set up, but once we do, I'll have to remember to come back to this and show that on and off. So next up, the voltage controlled filter. Filter's set pretty high on this track, so you're not getting a lot of filter, but it's there. It's not quite at all the way up to 10. And again, we'll hear that more when the envelope generator gets set up. A little bit of resonance. Just where it starts to come in, there's a ton of resonance available on this filter, almost an unusable amount at the really high settings. And I usually set the key follow high on this synth. No oscillator modulation of the VCF, and no high passing on this patch. Already, that's way better than... So what we're hearing now is a lot of the pulse width on the VCO. Kind of boring. Now we're getting somewhere. So the envelope generators. If you're not familiar with this synth, I mean, there's separate envelopes for the VCA and the VCF. That control the filter contour and the volume, but only one set of sliders, so you switch back and forth with the buttons as far as which envelope you're editing. So filter envelope, really fast attack, pretty long decay, sustained down somewhat, And now you can hear that the contour of the filter envelope is affecting the pitch. That slide in. So no depth. Now we've got some modulation of the oscillator. Filter release. Up a little bit. And some depth. We won't hear some of that until we get the amp envelope set up, so let's go ahead and do that. Again, sharp attack, 0 basically. Decay won't matter because sustain is all the way up at 100% or 10. And there, getting some release on the amp envelope, you can hear the pitch sweep out. And that release timing is super sensitive for this patch. It tells us a lot, or it shapes a lot how long that release is. That's longer than the original. Tiny bit there. There's the depth on the amp envelope. Sounds about right to my memory. That seems about right. We'll see when we get to the test. There's no real LFO in this patch. The modulation and that sense of movement is all coming from the pulse width on the VCO. There is, of course, some of the wonderful analog chorus. This button's a little finicky, but it is the chorus 2 setting. So, off. Oh, it's beautiful. I could listen to that all day. That's so fun. The modulation, just enough. Unfortunately, you can listen, if you like that sound, you can listen to it all day too. You can find my new album, Night Mode's Continuing Worlds, on Bandcamp, and selections from Continuing Worlds on all the major streaming platforms. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh! I almost forgot to do a check. So here is the patch I've recreated real quick. And the original. I was really close. The original, I think maybe the filter cutoff was a little bit lower and a little bit more pulse width modulation, but pretty close. That's how I did it. More videos coming soon on the AX-60. Continuing Worlds available on Bandcamp and all your major streaming platforms. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Doing the YouTube.